A quick warning to our younger audience, this episode contains some adult language. Thank you and enjoy.
All right, welcome back to the Unscripted Show. I'm your host, Maahir Murad, and today we have
Tyler Blaylock
and
Faiz Imran.
All right, so I'm going to start off with Faiz. Faiz, you started off selling fidget spinners. At what age?
I was, I don't remember, but I remember I was maybe 10, 11.
And at this point, fidget spinners were like a big thing, right?
This is actually before it even picked up. It's like,
okay.
This is before people knew what fidget spinners were. It was about kids in other countries are messing around with these toys.
Right.
Suppliers are seeing high demand. It's picking up. More people are buying. And I bought it and decided, hey, I'm going to try to sell this to kids in our area. Wow. I got lucky in the sense the trend blew up, and I was the only one that had them in time because everybody else was ordering them, trying to get stock, and I already had them.
Wow. So how much did you order?
A lot of quantities.
A lot of quantities?
I remember I had boxes and boxes full.
Right.
We made, I think, around 10 grand.
But you were taking a gamble, right? You had no idea if this was going to... Because it wasn't a trend until
It wasn't a trend. It's like right place, right time.
Right place, right time. And so at 10 or 11 years old, you're selling fidget spinners. Did you sell out? Was it?
I sold out over and over and over to the point.
So you reordered, sold out again?
So many times. So many times.
And was this your first like endeavor towards like business or...
I mean, it was my first kind of sort of scalable, right?
Okay.
Because after this, what I started was... Within that actually was a free supply program, which was I was giving kids that wanted to do this thing as a side hustle some of my supply, like 10, 20 fidget spinners at a time. They'd sell it, and then they'd pay me back.
So you actually started like a...
I started like a pyramid type thing. That's how I grew so fast. That's how I profited
you had people coming in from you. Okay. So after fidget spinners, where did you go?
A lot of small side hustles. I attempted to stock trade. Penny stock trading.
And did you go in with like any research? Did you like study the bunch?
I did a lot of research. I did make a few $100. I made a few thousand. Okay. I lost a few thousand, but at the end, I realized there's literally no such thing as quick money. All my money from fidget spinners and wholesaling, because I would not only sell fidget spinners. Was it before or after? I used to sell pop sockets. I used to sell the things that go on the back of your phone. You'd click them, they click out. Other toys, all these different things, candies, phone cases. So that was one side hustle. Like that was my main hustle, I guess. I was taking all the money I made from there, putting it into penny stocks and Forex.
So from the beginning, you were just about getting that bag. You were like...
I was just about what makes the money, yeah.
You were too young to get a job, right? Or did you never want to get a job?
I never wanted a job.
Right.
I just couldn't see myself working for somebody, but I was open to it because at that point, my end goal was to become super rich off of stock trading, penny trading. So all this stuff I was doing was to save up money.
And this is like a 12-year-old kid at this point?
I think 13.
13. So you have like big, like, I'll get rich fast, and then it turned out. Okay, so after you did investing, you decided that you don't want to go for that anymore?
It wasn't even that. It was more so of... I started investing and realizing, hey, all the people making money are the ones selling the courses. All the people making money are the ones who are brokers.
Yeah.
There's maybe 1 in a million kids who have made so much money, and they had, if you really do research into them, their parents are super rich. They had a whole lot of backing behind them. It's not just, you can't just buy your way into a group chat that tells you when to buy and sell. Yes, you'll make a few $100. But yes, you're going to lose a few $1,000. Right. So long term, it's not scalable.
So investing was not for you.
Not for me.
Not for you. And so after that, where did you go?
I think I dabbled in a few things here and there, but then where I settled was Evercent.
And
Evercent was that startup that we ended up licensing, like selling off.
So before you say that, I just want to say that the Evercent story has been really inspirational throughout the community.
Thank you.
And I know a bunch of people, including me, who tried other stuff. I'm like, yo, if Faiz can do it, I could do it.
That was the goal.
Some of them didn't work out, but like you inspired a lot of people. So tell us your Evercent story. At the age of 16, right?
15, 16. It was 15, 16, and then it was done at that point. Yeah. And then I started other things. But what Evercent was, it was literally a brainchild of me being bored. I was bored as shit. Like I had nothing to do. It was the summer, and I was like, I really want to make some... It wasn't even about the money. I was like, I want to do something and make a difference, something that people notice. Because, you knew me before this. Nobody knew me. Like, nobody knew who I was. And I looked a lot different and whatever. But started working, and I was like, I got a 3D printer because I was like, with a 3D printer, I'll make something that's real. Okay. I can make something online and make it a reality. It's literally like, it was so cool to me, futuristic. Design something and it becomes real. It's like, wow. No production line, nothing sending to China, no prototype. You just make it yourself. So that was the idea. I started designing something, and I had a sampler bottle. You know the sampler bottles you get for perfume or fragrance at the mall? So I had one of those, and I would just made this weird gimmick thing where you put it inside and it'd be originally it was a watch, and it was like you spray the scent into it, and you'd walk around. And then I showed my friends, they're like, "Who the hell is gonna wear a watch that doesn't actually tell the time and makes you smell good?"
So so that watch would release the perfume.
So no, the watch, what it was you'd slide it back, and it'd have like cotton balls in it.
Oh, okay.
And you're supposed to spray the perfume.
Oh, okay.
And then from that, I then found the fragrance bottle, and then it was like, let me make a necklace. The original prototypes were huge. It was super bulky. It was like big screw nuts and everything. And I was like, this is my MVP. MVP's a minimum viable product. Yeah. It's something that does the work, but does not, most likely, it's not the nicest, most visually appealing thing. People wouldn't buy it as is, but it gets the job done.
Yeah.
So I took that, started testing. People were like, I like the concept, I would use it. Yeah, it's kind of cool, but it can't look like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. And then literally.
So wait, so I know the final product, the technology would release automatically. At this point, at this MVP, would it release automatically as well?
It would.
You made that technology, like you did the testing?
Mistake. Yeah, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
So I made it, and then I was like, I got mad. I was like, what the fuck? And I shook it, and I was like, oh, it worked. And then since it was PLA plastic, which is porous, like crazy porous, it has a lot of rigid, it's like weirdly stacked. It would suck it in, and it just started like flooding, and I was like, wait. That's when I designed the holes into it. Tried it again, it flooded, but this time it dripped. So it's just the process of slowly refining it enough to where it drip, absorb, and release the fragrance.
So just to like clarify, so you would wear the necklace, and while moving, you would shake the perfume, and throughout the day, without doing anything, a perfume would be releasing.
Yep. So you smell good 24/7.
24/7. And you created that with the MVP. And then where did you go after that?
Then it was like not everybody wants to wear a necklace, right? Then we made like belt straps, purse buckles.
Okay.
We made there was a lot. There was a necklace, purse buckle, belt strap. One you keep in your pocket, and you could shake it and activate it and put it on you like that.
Yeah.
There was a few different. It was called style caps.
Yeah. And so and this was all, you did all this before your official launch, right?
Yeah. So this was all testing, and I didn't really. Money and making money and the fame, all that was not the point. The point here was, hey, it's a hypothesis. People want it.
But how the money, the initial investment you made was from
the 3D printer. It was in general.
No, but you had from before that all like selling used to do. So you didn't get any like money from anybody else. It was all your own
So I had a little bit of money remaining. I think after about the 3D printer, maybe I had like $300-400.
So then testing. Yeah. Okay. So after this testing, so you're getting closer to launching your product, right? What happens then?
So what happened was actually I didn't even know I was going to launch or whatever. So testing, idea was to make something that people actually wanted.
Yeah.
So when I proved people actually wanted it, I kept refining it. And the cool thing was I'd wake up super early and I'd go to sleep super late, and I'd forget to eat. I used to be pretty fat, for everybody that doesn't know.
I remember.
And the reason I lost weight was I would forget to eat because how much time I would spend on Evercent.
Wow.
And you could literally see when I started Evercent, I was fat. When I finished Evercent, I was like anorexic. I was way too skinny. But it was awesome. I enjoyed it. We started refining it more and more. And then I'm like, okay, now how can I make money off of this?
Okay.
But that came after.
Yeah.
It came, how can I profit off of this? And then in my opinion, the best option was I have no money for advertising. I have no money for to make a nice website. I have no money to get any of that stuff done. Actually, so I'm like, I need a new platform that will do it for me. So I looked at Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, even though that's a little different. But I considered all those options, and I came to Kickstarter because the concept was you invest in a video, you get your product down, and people will, in a sense, fund your project because they buy it, like pre-order it before you can even make it, as long as you have a plan. I launched it twice, actually. Once it completely, like, drastically failed because I didn't have it set up correctly.
Yeah.
Which I just thought about now. I forgot about that. Yeah, it did fail the first time, and I didn't give up. I feel like if I gave up, it would not become anything, and I wouldn't be in the place I'm in now. But I took a second shot at it. I was like, you know what? So what? Like, people are going to ridicule me. And a lot of people did ridicule me. They were, like, laughing at me, mocking me, like, this is not going to work. Like, what is this garbage? And I was like, you know what? The only thing I have left, because it already failed the first time, is Evercent, because that's what I put all my time into. So let me just take another shot at it. Took another shot at it. I got the video done correctly. So when I did the video, I had to start selling pop sockets again.
Okay.
The pop sockets are still in, and they're still in now.
Yeah.
I had to sell those to save up money for the video. The video was around $1,200-1,300.
Okay.
I think it was a minute 30 or around there. A video. I had actors. I got lucky. I had made some good connections. So I did have some high key actors and models in the video. Rented out a whole building for super cheap. Did all connections while networking. We got the video produced. We got all the pricing and packages set up. And then we launched. And I launched without knowing how I was going to fulfill the orders. Like, I did not have a plan. I had an idea of how I was going to fulfill it, right? I was going to send it to this factory, but there was no solid plan. It was like, let me launch it, take action first, instead of planning everything out, because everything's going to change. I launch it, a few days go by. It's slow, I'm getting like 2-3 orders a day. Then I start doing social media ads, pretty much like sending it to big pages, then blowing it up, and then it's just like, have you seen this new product? Don't ever smell bad again, or whatever. It started racking up. Then I started climbing up. I'm 50-60% funded 10 days in, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then 2 companies reached out to me, and they were like, hey, what you're doing is awesome. Do you think we could work together? Wow. And one was not a legit proposition. It was just like, hey, how can we work together? And one was, stop the campaign now. We have to talk. And I was like, okay. And I didn't know what I was thinking. I called them. They were like, we like what you're doing. We want a license to this company and this company. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, what's the process? They're like, send us like 4 or 5 samples in different colors. And I had like this box I made literally with paper. Like, we got paper. We put water on, like, all DIY. This is how we got there to this point. I sent them in our DIY box. I sent them a few products. They looked at it, they reviewed it, sent me back some paperwork saying they'd buy the company and they'd give me a royalty for this much. And even if you go back to Evercent today, on Evercent on Kickstarter, you can see it was canceled halfway through. And it wouldn't make sense, because if I would have left it, it would have been beyond funded.
So I want to pause your story, and I want to go to you, Tyler. Mm-hmm. So what were you around this time? Were you doing anything? Were you dabbling in entrepreneurship around like this age?
Yeah, so at my youngest, I think I was like 7 years old. Okay. I lived on a golf course, and from there, I was in the woods, and I would pick up the old golf balls that they hit into the woods, and I'd resell them back to the golfers. And I did that. I did that for, I think, 4 years straight, actually. And making $35 a day at 6 years old was crazy. From there, right when I turned 14, me and my business partner, we started a clothing line called Traveler Company. Okay. And then from there, it actually took off, and within 1 year, we were in 13 stores.
Oh my God.
And 2 different states, besides, so 3 states in all: Georgia, South Carolina, and then 1 store was in Florida. Okay. Working in and getting into Dick's Sporting Goods, and those bigger high-end companies. At one point, we kind of jumped into this not knowing what we were doing. No marketing at all. We were basically getting orders, and I was shipping them out of my room, putting shipping labels, like handmade shipping labels from the post office. I had no idea how to actually, fulfill these orders. And at one point, we ended up closing the company because I didn't want to do this forever. Okay. I wanted to do something. I wanted to kind of expand my reach and try to do something else besides just clothing and stuff like that. So I ended up selling it to a private equity company in Atlanta about when I was just turned 18. So we ran it for about 3.5 years.
So it was successful, and then you yourself decided you don't want to continue.
Yeah, me and my partner were 50% into it each, and then so we sold it for a few $1,000s to a private equity company in Atlanta, and they took it from there. And then after that, around that time, I joined as a CMO of a marketing company, and did that for about 1 year. And then at that point, college came into play. Okay. I went to college for 1 whole year, and then dropped out probably 3 months ago. Yeah. About 3 months ago. And
why did you, it was like...
There was 2 different reasons. So so I'm 20 now. When I turned 19, me and my 3 buddies, we started a company called Clean Cans. Okay. Clean Cans, it sounds weird, but we sell trash bags. Okay. So the people with residential trash service, that the trash company picks up your trash can once a week, we sell the big liners that go inside that can itself. Okay. We basically had a small concept of these bags and stuff like that. We were selling them literally out of my buddy's house. We would package them in our own boxes. And now to the point where we've partnered up with 3 sanitation companies. We have a warehouse. Wow. We're shipping, a couple hundred boxes every week and a half or so. So yeah, it was cool the way it's grown, and we're not even a year into it yet.
So that was one of the reasons why you said, I'm not going to pursue college?
Mm-hmm. That's one of them right there, because we actually saw that, at this point, we are starting to receive money, because for about, I would say 8 months or so, we didn't take a check at all. We would sell out inventory like Faiz would do with the fidget spinners. We'd sell out inventory, buy more, sell out, buy more, until a point, we had basically a shitload of inventory. We stored it into a warehouse. We got a whole entire warehouse staff, and they're handling our orders every single day now through a management system and all that kind of stuff. So seeing it go from
your buddy's
our house
to a warehouse,
to having an actual warehouse
it's
where
incredible.
we have reach to all the way to from here to California and stuff like that. And then at one point about, let's say, 8 months ago, me and Faiz actually met up through LinkedIn, surprisingly. Okay. And I never even met Faiz.
So who made the first like?
I don't remember. I think
I reached out to him and I said, hey man, how can we benefit from this connection? Because we just connected on LinkedIn. Turned out he lived in the somewhat local area, so we met up at a Mellow Mushroom, and then we ate once, talked, and then he reached out to me with a current position he had, and then we talked about it further, met up one more time, and then from there, the rest is history. And then we started working together through FISMA.
All right. So before I get to FISMA, after Eversent, was there anything, or was it just?
I was back to it. Now what? I was so empty. I feel like.
But after you got bought out by a company, right? Mm-hmm. So you had capital, correct?
Because of that. A little bit. It wasn't too much, but yeah, I had something. It's just, yes. Did I go buy out everything I wanted? Because as a kid, yes, I bought everything I wanted.
Everything, yeah.
Literally everything I wanted, and then I'm like, damn. And then I truly understood what it means to money doesn't buy happiness.
Yeah.
Money can, yes, help you obtain happiness, but money is not happiness in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you run out of things to buy and then you have no purpose and you're just like, now what?
Uh-huh.
And I'm just sitting there and I look like a different person. I feel like a different person. I'm like, this is not even me. I don't know what to do. A few months go by and then I'm just brainstorming what made Eversent a success. And it was literally the marketing. It was the way I was able to reach all these people that were targeted. Okay. I honed into that. I started talking to more people, networking, and realizing that I had a knack for design, aesthetic, and knowing what works with people, virality in a sense, if you care to say. I took the hypothesis, tested it on myself. Okay. I went viral. And a lot of people in our area saw that. I made an ad that said this 15-year-old, or was it 16-year-old, is the next big thing. We launched that. I got it onto some huge pages. And I learned a lot of things. I got scammed a few times. People said they were going to post it. I paid the money. They didn't post it. But throughout it, I got it on some huge pages, ran ads on Instagram and Facebook. This is before this whole marketing gimmick became viral and everything. I was doing it before that. I ran it. I went viral. I gained that to 3,000-4,000.
You used a digital marketing agency. You created yourself on yourself to promote yourself. It
wasn't even an agency at that point. It was just a hypothesis. I'm like, am I really good at this?
Yourself?
Am I good at this? Yeah. Right. It's like, will it work? And it worked. Yeah, I gained 3,000-4,000 followers, and it just started escalating from there. I ran the ad. It kept going. I think brought me up to like 8,000-9,000. And at that point, I was like, I posted publicly. I'm gonna post every single day, like not even a story, a physical post.
Okay.
And posting every single day took me from 8 to 13, 15, 16,000 followers, I think. And at that point, I paused and I was like, I don't even care what anybody thinks about me. And I took a break from social media, which I do kind of regret. I should have kept my feelings and how my business was working and everything on social media. I would build more transparency through my audience. I would have kept growing instead of declining, because I started declining and I went back down to maybe 12,000 followers. And now I don't even know where I'm at. I think I'm at 13-ish, something like that. But it was just up and down, and it would have kept going because I had the momentum. But that's when I settled, and I'm like, let me try this for other people. Started working for family, friends, and people in your circle. Yes, they won't trust you. They're going to take you not seriously, but they're the easiest way to build a portfolio and prove yourself and have something to show to actual clients, to people you don't know and prospects. I did that for a while, got my first client, started working with them. And the way I found them was through cold calling. I can't tell you exactly my process, but I cold called, got them on the phone, ended up booking a meeting with them, went in. We made them a website. We did some ads for them. And then from there, because of our work ethic and the way our things turn out, it just referral.
So at that point, when you did this first like family friend company, did you have a team, or was it just you solo?
It was just me. It was literally me just.
And when did you expand? At what stage?
Did I expand?
Yeah.
To what? Like a team?
To like, I need more people and it's too much work for someone.
The first few team members, the people that worked for me, were friends actually. And they were on there as in I'd pay them, yes, but not, they could have made more working at McDonald's, literally. Okay. But they were in it for the mission. So first few people worked. One of the guys, his parents made him quit because they didn't see any merit in it. And I was like, damn. And our friendship messed up because of that too. Uh-huh. And that's where I learned don't bring friends into business necessarily, because they're gonna leave one, either they leave the business or they stop being friends with you, or both. It's not a good way to do it. But he left, and then another one of our friends came in. I didn't learn my lesson, I guess. Same thing happened. And then we started hiring people a salary base, and I'm like, we could have had my friends be on salary if I would have set it up correctly, but because of those friends, because of those people, which I'm cool with now, we've made up, we're all good now. It was the ethic of all these kids that wanted to make something of themselves. And we were just hustling it all out to the point every time we'd max out and like, oh, we can't take any more projects on. We'd have 3 projects and we're like, all of our hours, all of our time's going into these projects alone. We don't have time to find more clients. That's when we brought more people in.
Okay. And so how old were you when FISMA started?
16, or because the reason I'm so iffy about these numbers is because I was like 16 and a half, 15 and a half. Okay. And I started things like around there, but I think I was 16.
16, and you came on when you were 19, right?
He came on a few months ago.
So,
was it? Yeah, like around a year.
About 8 months ago.
Something like that.
Okay, so this is, okay. So now, how is like FISMA going as of now?
It's awesome, man. Now we've narrowed down to this idea of like large clients. We don't work with, and I don't want to say as like a hard no, but we don't necessarily work with businesses that make under $2 to $3 million. Reason being, these businesses don't have certain aspects and things set up within themselves and their systems to scale. We can bring them a crazy amount of traffic, then they won't have the people to close them. They won't have the people to service those clients that we bring them. And they can't necessarily afford our services. There are a lot of exceptions for startups with funding, for people that understand the value they're going to get through our services, and it's going to level them up. But we're working with larger businesses than we were before. And I just feel like referral are like the better businesses you work to, the better type of referrals you get. In that sense, and that's how we've been growing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so outside of FIS, so I want to make this bigger for the audience. So when you inspired a bunch of people in our community, right? Atlanta, like Desi people, Brown people, a bunch of other high schoolers I know who got inspired by you. So, and I didn't really know you, so I couldn't say like I got inspired by you. Mm-hmm. But is there any advice you want to give to people who have like an idea and who should they pursue it, like anything like that?
You got anything, Tyler?
Yeah, so I mean, I think honestly, make sure you do your research, because with my first clothing line, we had no idea what we were doing, and I wouldn't call it luck almost how it turned out, but I mean, we were selling like a shitload of shirts every single day, and we had no idea what we were doing. And if I could have gone back in time and have the knowledge I know now, I wish I would have known that. So I would do your research before, whatever industry you're getting into, and also I wouldn't bite into the pipe dreams that are being sold.
Yeah,
I would steer clear of the pipe dreams unless you know for a fact that you feel as if you can be successful in it. You think you get that right?
Building off of that, do not try to start a business because of the hype. Do not try to do something that other people are doing because it seems easy.
Yeah,
you have so much time. No, majority of you are not going to build a successful marketing company. Majority of you are not going to be successful influencers.
Quick, after you made this company, I just want to see, did other people try to do this?
Yeah, a lot of people are imitating what we're doing, but they're not patient enough. I didn't start this because there's a hype around it. Because of me, there's a lot of hype in Atlanta. Yeah. Because of this, I started it because I knew I was good at something. I knew it would offer value to the buyer.
Yeah.
And it did offer value, and that's why we kept growing. A lot of people are starting they're starting Forex. They're starting stock trading. They're trying to be influencers, especially with TikTok now. Yes, all this stuff works, but no, it doesn't work within a few months or a year. It might take years and a lot of your life if this is what you're trying to do for your career-wise.
And so you dropped out of college, and are you planning on going to college?
No, so I did have a few scholarships, and if any of the schools are watching this, they know I did not accept them. They were full ride scholarships. I didn't have to pay for anything. Yeah. I just had to figure out where I was living. They didn't include the dorm in. Everything else was paid for. And there was a huge list of colleges that I could have gone to. I did not take it because of time. The whole reason I'm not going to school is not because I don't value the education. I really, really value knowledge and education. I just don't value the vehicle a normal college delivers it through.
Okay.
Secondly, the time constraint of building this company. We have a huge team. We have a lot of people to pay. We have older. Like I think I'm the youngest person in our company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have.
And you run the company. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So a lot of the people I work with have families. They have people to pay.
Yeah.
I have to pay them. They have to feed their families. So for me to not put my time towards growing the business and letting these people sustain their family, it's almost wrong to them.
Yeah.
So.
And was there any backlash for both of you? Because, dude, like, let's be honest, for you dropping out of college, like, you were in it and you just had to do like another 2 years and you would have been done.
Yeah.
You dropped out halfway and you.
I was about to drop out of high school. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're public. You're like, I'm not even going to go to college. So what is the backlash you guys faced on this?
I mean, my parents at first, they were like, are you serious? And then we set up, to prove to my parents, I was like, I will make a certain amount in a certain allotted time. And I blew that number out of the ballpark. And that's when they literally established a new level of respect. Because they understood that I am mature to that extent. Yes, I'm young, but I do understand that I have responsibilities. I do understand that I need to pay my bills. I do understand that I have to make things happen. I can't just give up, right? Yeah. Once they saw that, they were cool with it. Now they support me by all means.
All right, and
my parents are the same way. I went to, like, I guess somewhat of a party school my freshman year, and then I actually joined a fraternity. I feel like I got the experience, but the mindset I had was just different than other people. You know, they would go out drinking and stuff like that. And of course, I did the same thing, but some nights I would stay in, and then it started getting to a point with clean cans. Most nights I was in, every weekend I was coming home to, reevaluate myself and the business that we were starting. And I feel like, if you feel as if something's more important to you than, the college experience, then at that point, you have to make the decision for yourself.
And so what about friends? Like, I know family was like a thing, but like your people around you, were they like, this guy's an idiot, this guy knows what he's doing? Or
well, honestly, I feel like...
Dude, I had no friends.
I feel like it's hyped up. I feel like your friends, they think it's cool if you don't, which is, I don't believe
now,
that.
But now it is. Because now people they want to be an entrepreneur because they want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It doesn't even mean anything. It's such a hype. Now, this, not to be mean, this will get corrected in the next recession. When it hits people hard, when their parents can't pay the bills and they have to go to school because they need a job, this entrepreneur dream is going to end real quick. Because I get a lot of offers from larger companies offering for me to be a CMO for them. That pays way more than I'm making personally now because I don't pay myself through the company.
Yeah.
Any sane person would take that, but for me, I see the long vision, the long-term goal for FSMA, and I'd rather stay with this, even if it means not making as much.
Okay, and the second thing is just entrepreneurship as a general. Call it how you want it. Yeah, there is hype, but it's also looked down upon. Okay, and I think, and we should like discuss that because especially in the brown community, not going to school, not getting a 9 to 5, that's like that's a big no, right? And I don't know about like in general, but there's a strong people like don't risk it. Why risk it? You're gonna fail, then you'll be like years behind, then you'll have to go to college and you'll be in debt. So what do you guys say to that?
Well, I feel like my mom, like from working with my parents, sometimes they even say the words like I hate going to work today, or like if I have to go to mom's a teacher, and she freaking hates it. Okay. So at this point, she went to college knowing that she wanted to be a teacher, and she loved it for the first I would say 17 years or so. Right. At that point, me being 13 years old, my mom's like, I have to go to work. That put like a point in my head like I would never want to say that, and so you grew up hearing that work is like they don't like it, and you're like, okay. And I mean, even if you go to school, right, and you're 30 years old, you still have 80 years left to go until you could always. It's never too late to start something. Yeah. And I would back to the point of you talking about what would you say to a high schooler or something like that. I wouldn't shoot for huge price numbers. Like, to be honest, when you
set milestones, man.
When you first started FSMA, the contracts weren't nearly what they are now. So,
I was working almost for free. I was doing it for the sake of long-term vision. I had a long-term vision. We wanted to be the biggest company that does marketing. We want to be a social platform. We want to have all these networks. That was a long-term goal. Yeah. And I broke it up into milestones. How do I attain that long-term goal? Because if you have a long-term goal and you don't see any type of results towards it within 3-4 months or a year or 2 years, you're going to give up. Yeah. So I set milestones. So I did see results, which kept me going. For example, first milestone, one first client, get one contract.
Yeah,
I achieved that.
You had to get your first sale before you get 100.
Exactly, and then it was 10, and then I saw some type of progress, and I'm like, okay, I am moving. Versus me saying I wanted to be the biggest company. If I were to compare my one client, then I'd just give up. I'd be like, I'm nothing. So it's just those milestones, and we kept leveling up. And even today, we have so many milestones we want to achieve, just step by step.
Wow. And so, is there anything like? Is it just FSMA? Are you guys working on building FSMA? Or is there any other like?
We have a lot of projects. through FISMA, because FISMA itself is almost like a platform. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but we also have a network of over 100 million followers. We get 3.5 billion views a month. Wow. And that's our follower network. And what that does is multiple things. And I've done seminars on this. We establish not only a separate revenue stream, and then that gets into e-commerce stores off those brands for ourselves, but for our clients. So there's a lot going on. It's just all bundled up as FISMA.
Mm-hmm. Going back to education, this like college debt now is a big thing, right? So are you guys? What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I was fortunate enough, I guess not. I wouldn't have had to take any on. My grandma, she like had a thing set aside for us for college and stuff like that. So my college was completely paid for, no matter what. So and I still didn't take it to this point. I took my freshman year, but I didn't take it from there on out. So I guess that's where I was with that. But
taking on college debt, I feel like depends. Look, this is not for entrepreneurship is not for everybody. For a lot of people, it is a way, way, way better option to be a part of a big company. Yeah. Not necessarily be on the board or just be a part of something huge, because they can do their part. For example, if you're an amazing photographer, you don't have to go out and start the freelance business. You don't have to be the photographer or creative director for a company. You can literally just be part of an agency or a video company and do what you love and enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being super rich. It's about being happy. If you're happy, you've won. I value success as somebody who's happy versus the monetary amount.
Wow. And just to point out, you're 19 and you are
20.
I'm 17, dude.
You're 17?
Yeah.
All right. So just like any like final things you want to say in general about what, like anything about entrepreneurship, FISMA, like, and if you want to point out how like there were also a lot of struggles, like if anything like that before we wrap this up.
Do what you want because you want to do it, not to show anybody anything, number one. And number two being, people will talk you down. For that reason, keep your goals, your victories, and your losses to yourself. Okay. Because if you set a goal, guys, I'm going to make $100,000 in 60 days. And we do that stuff all the time in the company. But I don't go out there and post on social media. I don't go tell my competitors, which you'd be surprised. A lot of people go and rub things in their faces. I don't go tell my parents. I don't tell anybody who's not directly correlated with the results. Yeah. We smash the fuck out of that goal. We win, and we still keep it to ourselves. It's awesome. Versus me going and telling the people that naysayers, just watch, I'm going to make $100K in 60 days. Yeah. And I don't hit it, they're going to be like, yeah, where's the money at? And that's going to put me down even more. Yeah. So keep your goals and ambitions and milestones to yourselves, and over time, long term, you won't even have to say anything and they'll just understand you won.
All right. Anything from you?
Yeah, I would just I think the main thing too for the younger audience, 14, 15, 16, 17, don't buy into the pipe dreams, because I feel like a year ago, I know you guys are all on social media and stuff, you saw all the courses going out and stuff like that, and people are spending thousands of dollars, but it's just the rinse and repeat information they're hearing over and over again. And to touch base with what you said about working with friends and stuff like that, I get. So when I first met Faith, we weren't friends. Not like we weren't enemies. We didn't know each other at all. Yeah. I mean, I'd say we got pretty close now.
We developed our relationship through work. Yeah. And it kept it professional. I like what it is versus being friends, bringing into the business and leaving as not friends. Wow. It's more fun to develop something through the business, through the relationship.
So before we end, I just want to say, like, because obviously there's 99% of entrepreneurs fail, right? Mm-hmm. So what if you fail? I want to end on that. If you fail, your mindset, because your mindset's not going to be like, oh, I'm ruined, right? I want people to hear that that's what your mindset is.
I feel like a fail is a win. If I did not fail in stocks, I would not be doing what I'm doing right now. Yeah. I feel like everything happens for a reason. I think it's Tony Robinson that speaks of this. Everything happens for you and not to you. And I started religiously living my life 1 year ago based on this. And Tyler knows this. My transmission, I race a lot. My transmission blows up. It happened for me. I ended up buying a nicer car. When my last car got hit, I ended up buying a nicer car. That's car examples. Yeah, but, I remember. I lost a client. And because I lost that client, I went to this networking event where I saw new people, met new people, and they led to huge contracts, some of our biggest contracts now. So if you live by everything happens to you, everything happens, my bad, for you and not to you, and everything's going to, work out eventually, then you're going to start taking your losses as a learning lesson and just building off of them, because there's nothing else you can do.
I kind of build off that about, like we have clients all the time that, we have our ideal client in quotation marks, right? So we like to take on specific kind of people, and we take learning lessons all the time. Whenever a project doesn't go 100% the way it should, at that point we learn for the next time that we should hit certain pinpoints and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So branching off that, I feel like it's just important to reevaluate yourself, not give up. I mean, if you fail at 16, you're only 16 years old.
That's true.
I'm only 20, so even if you fail at 40, you're only
still
40.
Have time. Yeah. All these billionaires have made their money after 40, after 50.
There's so much money out there, and it's all up for grabs.
All right, thank you for doing the show.
Thank you.